Welcome to the Irresistible You podcast. This is the place to get a dose of empowerment to create the life you crave and deserve. I'm your host, Amy Beltran, CEO and founder of Irresistible University. Through my podcast and signature coaching program, I teach women just like you how to ditch the body image issues, gain confidence, and lose the emotional weight to look and feel irresistible at any size. If you like the podcast, you're going to love my group coaching program. If you want to learn more about it, including the investment, see what's included, get real client testimonials, and to sign up and enroll, please head over to irresistibleicing.com/course. That link is also in the show notes. All right, guys, welcome back. This is episode 168. And how are you doing? How is life? How are things? How is the fall? October. If you're listening to this in real time, we are in almost the middle of October. So it's my favorite time of year. So I'm trying to just enjoy that and do all the things that I want to do on my list. And it got me thinking about how often do you sit around and dream about how different your life could be? How different your life would be if you could just lose the weight. If I could just lose the weight, I would be doing, blah, blah, blah. If I could just lose the weight, I'd be able to make more money because I'd have a better job, because I would apply for things. Like these thoughts that we have and these stories that we tell ourselves about what life could be if we could just lose the weight. And so we end up putting all of our dreams on hold, all of the things on hold that we want to do, and blaming it on the food, on the weight, when that's not really the true story here, guys. So I want you to think about what's on that list for you, because I know you got one. Everybody has the list. What is on your list that you could actually start doing now? Because see, here's where everybody gets it wrong. They think that, if I could just lose the weight, if I could just get to my goal weight, then everything's going to fall into place. Well, then when I get to my goal weight, it'll be easy for me to accomplish my goals and my dreams for myself because I'll have more confidence. I know for me, that was a story that I told myself, and it's a bullshit story. They're bullshit stories. There are no truth to these stories. We believe that if we lose weight, we're going to magically have all of this confidence. We're going to just knock it out of the park because we're going to feel so good about ourselves. We're not. And all of a sudden, it's like these personality traits that you have are magically going to change. We're not magically going to become extroverted, outgoing people if we are introverted today. Weight loss isn't going to fix that. Now, will weight loss give you a boost of confidence? Yes. Let's not, be in denial about that. Losing weight does have a lot of benefits, especially when, weight is affecting your physical and mental health. There are so many benefits to getting the weight off. But where people get it twisted is that if I just lose the weight, then I'll have the life I crave. Then I'll accomplish all of my goals. And I'm going to challenge you on that because I know that it's not true. I know that, here's the thing, bottom line. Yes, you want to get the weight off. Yes, you want to get to your goal weight. Yes, you want to look better in your clothes. Yes, you want to not feel uncomfortable when you bend over. Yes, you want to be more active and not be out of breath. All of these things that you want. So you want to lose the physical weight. But the other thing that you want, that you probably want even more, is the feeling. The feeling that you believe only comes with the weight loss. That feeling of confidence, of self-love, self-worth, that feeling that just knowing that you're a bad bitch, right? You can have that feeling now. and giving yourself permission to have that feeling now while you're on your weight loss journey, while you're actively losing weight. Okay? Because losing weight, when you've done it the way that, the yo-yo diet, bullshit diet way, if you've done it that way most of your life, number one, you already know how to lose the weight, okay? Number two, you don't know how to keep the weight off because you're not losing the weight in a way that is sustainable for the rest of your life. And the reason for that is because you're chasing a feeling that you think comes just from the weight loss. So of course you're going to put the weight back on because that feeling cannot be achieved just from the weight loss. That feeling that we're talking about, which is what I epitomize as irresistible you, like that feeling of being irresistible and confident and like just sure of yourself and going after your goals and like living up to your full potential. That feeling that you're chasing, the only way to keep that weight off is to also lose the emotional weight at the same time, or to work on your emotional weight first and continue. It's not like it's a one and done, right? It's just like when we lose weight, physical weight, we don't get to the finish line and then just go back to doing the same bullshit we've always done. So we have to be willing to look at ourselves, make changes, and develop along the way so that by the time you get to your goal weight, this has just become who you are. And nothing has really changed other than now you fit in a different size, right? Because you already have the confidence, you already have the self-worth, the self-love. And yeah, so this is huge. And you really have to get this because this is truly the secret to unlocking that confidence and that self-love feeling. This is how it happens. It happens by doing the things that you want to do now before you're ready, before you lose the weight, before you feel 100% confident. One of the biggest pieces of advice I can always give you guys is don't wait for the weight. You can't. We don't have time for that. Like, if you're in a place where you feel like you've lost yourself, you get caught in this cycle of waiting for the perfect opportunity. It's like, well, when school's over, when life slows down, when, this season ends, when I, get this amount of money in the bank, then everything will be better for me. I'll be able to make things happen. It'll be the perfect time to start. Or you tell yourself, and then once I lose the 50 pounds, then I'm going to start dressing better. I'm going to start putting on more makeup. I'm going to start like taking better care of myself in those ways. And then you get caught in that vicious cycle, that yo-yo diet, body hate, shame cycle where you gain, you lose, you gain, you lose. So you're not reaching that goal that you told yourself, well, when I lose 50 pounds, then I will take better care of myself. So while you're trying to lose the weight, of course you're not going to lose the weight and you're not going to do it successfully because you feel like shit about yourself. Not because you're overweight. You feel like shit about yourself because you're not showing up for yourself the way that you know you should. And I can attest to that. Like, pulling yourself together, putting on your makeup, doing your hair, your nails, putting your cute outfits on, the things that make you feel good, that only creates a domino effect for you to do better throughout the day. And when you think about that across your lifetime, where you're just constantly putting yourself on hold and not taking good care of yourself, it's like this horrible spiral, and you're never going to get where you're going, because let me tell you this. There is no perfect opportunity. The perfect opportunity is not coming to you. Nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's coming to help you. And there is no perfect opportunity that's going to show up at your door and you're going to be like, yes, I'm finally motivated. Yes, I finally can do this. Yes, I finally have more energy. No, girl. You're going to feel that way by getting your ass out from under the wet blanket and doing what you know you need to do. Because as long as you stay in that cycle, you stay stuck under your wet blanket of misery. And if you're under your wet blanket of misery, you don't want to get up from it because it's uncomfortable. Even though that blanket is cold, it's wet, it's miserable, it's familiar, it's comfortable. And you know when you take that wet blanket off, you're going to feel cold. You're going to feel even more uncomfortable for a minute. It's the same thing in this journey. In order to get comfortable with yourself, so cliche, but you have to get uncomfortable first. When you first put on those running shoes, your feet are fat and swollen and the shoes are tight. And you go out for that first walk after you've just been sitting on your ass for months or years. Your ass is jiggling, your legs are jiggling, your shins hurt, right? And you're just like, fuck this, I don't want to do this. This hurts. I don't want to be out here doing this. But if you keep showing up, if you keep pushing through, all of those pains, they will go away. And the only way they go away is what? Repetition, putting in the work. If you go and sit your ass back on the couch and turn on Netflix every night, you're not doing anything with yourself to get out of that pain. You're continuing the pain of your depression, of your anxiety, of your pity party, of the weight, and God knows the diseases and the problems the weight is causing physically, because that shit will catch up to you. Right? So don't wait for the weight. If you're lost, stop trying to look for that perfect opportunity, because I promise you it's not going to show up. And even if you think, and this is where everybody gets caught in that yo-yo diet cycle, even when you think, okay, cool, everything has slowed down, this is now the best opportunity, this is the perfect timing, life doesn't give a shit about your plan, because that's how you end up falling off in the first place, is that first bit of stress, that first punch in the gut from life. It's like, well, I can't do this anymore. And you just keep going on the back burner. And I'm telling you right now, stop wasting your life. Stop wasting time, because the days that you're wasting will turn into weeks. They will turn into months. And for lots of you listening, they have turned into years. But it is not too late. Even if it has been months, years, it is not too late for you to take charge and to get your shit together and to get up from under that wet blanket and make things happen. Success, things that you want, weight loss, your goals, they don't fall in your lap. They don't come because you prayed about it. They don't come because you put it out in the universe. They come when you also put in the work. You have to put in the work. You cannot sit around and wait for the wait. Because if you do that, you are going to die with untapped potential, with a life that you haven't lived to the fullest, and a shit ton of regrets. And yes, I start getting passionate and angry about this because I cannot stress to you how important it is to stop wasting time. Because we don't get this time back. When it's gone, it's gone. And for those of you that have children, that have pets, you have a limited amount of time. If you have small children, they're only in your home for so long. And when you're going through it, and let me tell you, I'm right there with you, girl, because I got almost about to be 2 and about to be 6, and it gets to be a circus around here. And there are times that I'm just like, oh my God, is it bedtime yet? But when that time is gone, it's gone. It's gone. So how do you want to spend it? How do you want to show up for yourself? How do you want to show up for your kids? Because how you're showing up with your kids is how they're going to show up for themselves one day. Think about that. It's huge. So we cannot sit around and wait for the wait, right? If we want to feel good, if we want to get to that list, let's talk about what's on your list. Let's talk about what's on your list. What is on that list that you dream about? You know, when and talking with so many of you and living this myself, I know what's on your list. I may not know you specifically, but I know I know the things on your list. And I bet there's things on there like I would dress cuter. I would dress more fashionable. Well, we can start doing that today. Like, we don't need to be a size 8 to look fierce. We can start dressing that today. You know, what's on your list? I would start a business. I would apply for a new job. You know, you're keeping yourself small to somehow protect yourself from feeling too big. And as long as you keep playing small and hiding and isolating, you're never going to have what you want. Is it easy? No. If it was, you'd all be doing it already. You have to have self-discipline. You have to put yourself first. You have to think about your goals and your dreams, and not only how it's impacting you by not going for these things, what is everybody else paying for around you? Because there's a price that's being paid. And if you're sitting around worried about, you know, other people's opinions, then you're never going to get it. Because I don't care what you do. You could do everything by the book. You could do everything, quote unquote, perfectly. You could do everything like a fucking Disney princess. And someone is still going to hate you. Someone is still going to sit around at happy hour and talk shit about you. Someone is always going to have something to say about you. No matter what you do, whether you better yourself. Because think about this. You go around, you get depressed and sad and sit on your couch every night and shove candy down your throat and put on 100 pounds. Everybody's going to talk shit about you. These same people, these same negative people. The people that love you, they will not, right? We know that. The people that don't give a shit, or the people that pretend to love you, they're going to talk shit about you if you put on all the weight. Oh my God, can you believe it? Look how big she is. Girl, she gained so much weight. Oh my God, she's so depressed and blah, blah, blah. Okay, right? If you go out and you start getting your glow up on and you start, you know, working out and feeling better and just everything about you is like blossoming, they're going to talk shit about you too. So I would rather become the most irresistible version of myself and let them talk shit. Because the people that are going to make all these nasty statements and opinions about you, guess what? They don't matter. They're not paying my bills. They're not living my life. They're not taking care of my kids. They're not running my business. So they don't get to have a say in my life. They can have their opinions, but I don't care about their opinions. They're entitled to their own opinion. But whatever they think is not my business. I don't give a shit. That's their problem. That's their work to go do. They have some self-development to go work on. So do not get caught up in worrying about people's opinions about you. Right? All right, so one more thing. I just want to go back to that thing about starting before you feel ready. Because I can hear the inner fat bitch voice in your head right now. Well, I'm not ready. You know, I'm so overweight. I'm so uncomfortable. I don't love myself at the moment. I don't like the way I look in my own clothes. I don't like the way I feel in my own skin. There's no possible way that I'm going to be confident enough to do the things I want to do. The secret sauce here is that we don't build confidence by getting to goal weight, right? We don't build confidence just because we got to goal weight. We build confidence in the process of losing weight. When you approach weight loss the way that I'm teaching, the way that I talk about in the Irresistible You framework, when you approach it from an emotional weight standpoint, you build confidence in the process. not at the finish line. Doing what you say you're going to do, number one way to get to confidence. You tell yourself you're going to meal prep 3 times a week and you do it, you're putting down foundation, building blocks to building up that confidence. Every single time you don't do what you say you're going to do, you chip away at your confidence to where now you're sitting around at a place where you've lost yourself. You don't trust yourself. You don't believe yourself. You don't take yourself seriously. You don't believe that this life you dream of could actually be yours. You have to start before you feel ready. That's how you do it. You start before you're ready. And every single day that you accomplish something by doing what you say you're going to do, by showing up for yourself, you are becoming that woman. You become the woman in the process, not at the finish line. And that is what so many women do not understand, because you have been sold this bullshit fantasy that getting the weight off as quickly as possible, by any means possible, is the way to have the life of your dreams, the life that you crave. And that is absolute bullshit. And you need to stop buying into it, and you need to stop believing that. And what you need to start doing is getting in your own lane, starting before you feel ready. Stop sitting around feeling sorry for yourself, waiting for the wait, and start doing something about it today. And getting over there and counting calories and busting your ass at some workout shit that you can't even stand is not how you're going to get there, and that is not going to build confidence. 100%, I will tell you right now, that will not build confidence, and it will not be sustaining for the rest of your life. Here's the thing. You have that evidence. You've tried that bullshit. You know it doesn't work. So why are you not trying a different way? And I mean, this just goes deeper and deeper, right? And when you approach it this way from, I'm going to lose the emotional weight, it's a game changer, guys. It's a game changer, because the way you should be looking at it is, this is the last time I'm losing physical weight. This is the last time, because I'm going to learn how to love myself, feel good in my own skin, no matter what size I am. I'm going to learn to have self-love and compassion for myself. And I don't care how long it takes, because this is not, let me lose 20 pounds in, 20 days or whatever stupid shit. This is, if I can heal the emotional weight, then I can get off the physical weight at the same time. Or kind of sometimes you got to spend more time, honestly, working on yourself first, working on that emotional weight first, before you're even ready to, start the weight loss. But here's what happens. There's this funny thing that happens, okay, when you don't go on a typical yo-yo diet, when you start dating yourself, getting to know what you like, and you start doing things now before you're at your goal, guess what? You stop emotionally eating all the time, because you're filling that space with other things that you have been depriving yourself of. When you have other things to look forward to besides food, you're not going to sit there and emotionally eat all night long. So it just makes sense. We have to start with the emotional weight. We have to start here if we want to get to our physical weight loss goals as well. So I want you to write down that list. This is your takeaway, is I want you to write down, the last couple episodes, we've been doing some homework exercises, right? And what I want you to write down now is, what are your goals and dreams? And what are those things that you dream about, but you always cut yourself off? You sell yourself short, and you go, oh, if I could just lose the weight, well, then I'll be able to do that. If I could just lose the weight, blah, 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 right? Because as I said, you are playing small so that you don't get hurt by people thinking you're too big. And guess what? I don't mean to be some type of way, but everybody can see you. You're not hiding. So this is a bullshit game that we play with ourselves, right? Like we try to make ourselves small to compensate for feeling too big, but the truth is people can see you now. So you might as well take up space and don't apologize for taking up space. So what I want you to do is I want you to write those things down. What are your goals? What are your dreams? What are the things that you tell yourself, if I could only lose the weight, I would blank. I mean, it goes from some, in the conversations I have with you guys, it goes from things as simple as I would wear a 2-piece bathing suit up to I would start a family. Okay? It goes from simple to things that are very deep, very serious, very life-changing. And you don't want your life to pass you by. And you are not doing what you dream of. Like, what kind of life is that? That's just sad. It's very sad. And I want to light that fire under your ass to move, to do something, to start realizing how much time you're wasting. And that if you take control now, you can stop wasting time. Right? And so on that list, as you're looking through things, I want you to ask yourself this. Why do I think I have to lose weight to do that? And answer the question and say, let's just use bathing suit as an example. Like, put on there, I want to wear a 2-piece bathing suit. Okay, cool. Why do I think I have to lose weight to do that? And you could write I think I need to lose weight because people will make fun of me. I will look disgusting. I have fat rolls, whatever. Okay. And then I want you to ask yourself the next question. So I want you to ask yourself the next question. Give yourself this space to dream without judging and shutting yourself down. What if I could do that right now? And surprisingly, for a lot of these things, you're probably going to be like, I could do that right now. So write it down. Ask yourself, why do I think I have to lose weight to do that? And what if I could just do it right now? And just whatever thoughts are coming to you, capture that, write it down, process through those, work through those. You have to work through the voice, the chatter, the chaos, the clutter that's in your brain. And just a question for you, do you even know what's possible? Do you even know what's possible for yourself? Do you give yourself the space and the permission to truly know what is possible in your life? I don't want to hear, well, no one in my family's ever done this, or well, I never had this. We get to break these cycles, okay? You may not have all the answers today. You may not know how to do it today, but you're going to start laying down the foundation to make things happen. Okay? There is no magical moment where everything will align, the world will feel perfect, and you'll know that, and you'll just be like, okay, now I can totally do this. We are not celebrity. What is it? Oh my God, I hated that show. What was it called? The weight loss show. Biggest Loser. We are not living Biggest Loser. These Biggest Loser people could lose the weight rapidly. They lost dramatic amounts of weight. Why? Because they were in a bubble. We don't live life in a bubble. That's why I hated that show. I hated what it stood for and what it was teaching people, and people thinking they're not good enough because they couldn't have those same results. Because we don't live our life in a bubble with chefs and personal trainers screaming and yelling at us while we're walking on a treadmill. That's not real life. Okay? So there is no magical moment. You have to learn how to get control of your emotions. It's one of the most underrated skills that is not taught. Once you know how to control and regulate your emotions, you're unstoppable. But you can't allow emotions to control every single thing that happens to you. Because if you do that, you will never be where you want to be. And this topic just like fires me up because you don't get the time back. I don't know how. I just want to shake all of you. I want to like be a little fairy and fly to your house and sit on your shoulder while you're listening to this. And I want to shake you and make you realize you don't get the time back. When it is gone, it is gone. You know, and I think about that. I look at my kids and, you know, they're turning 2 and 6. And it's like that first year, that 5th year, it's gone, baby. It's gone. It is gone. It doesn't come back. And as they get older, I get older. And I don't want to live a life full of regrets. I don't want to live a life with wasted potential. That's like one of my biggest fears, is not living up to my full potential. That is a sad, sad state to be in when you do not live up to your potential. When you have goals and you have dreams and you have passion and you don't go after it because of being afraid for some asshole to make a comment about your body. No, like fuck them. Seriously. Stop being afraid of what some asshole may or may not say about you. Because they don't have to live your life. They don't have to go to the grave with untapped potential and regrets. You will. So don't let anybody stand in your way. Go out there and get it. Like, just get it. Go do what you want to do. And stop letting a fat roll or cellulite or extra pounds or double-digit clothes or clothes with a W on the end stop you from your dreams. That will be the biggest regret of your life if you continue to let this happen. If you want to lose the weight, cool. If you don't want to lose the weight, cool. But what you should want to do is get on that dream list now. Regardless of your size, regardless of your weight, regardless of your age. Because that's another thing. You are not too old. You are not too old. You can change your life whenever you just decide, I want to change my life. And that's it. Stop waiting for the wait. Stop waiting for the wait. What would change? What would change? What would change if you started thinking differently? What would change if you lost the emotional weight? Okay, I think that's it, guys. I get on a tangent and I can't stop, and I'm going to have to stop it there. We're going to start wrapping things up. What to do after the episode? Go do the homework. You don't know what it is? Go back and listen. Rewind. Go back and listen to it. As always, you can share that with me. If you want to share it with me on Instagram, if you want to share it in the Facebook group, feel free to do that. And those links are included in the show notes as well. If this podcast has been helping you in any sort of way, I would love to have your support. And the number one way you can show support for the Irresistible You podcast is to go over to Apple Podcast, which I know from my reports and my statistics, I know that most of you listen with Apple, not all of you, and I myself am not an Apple user. But head over to Apple Podcast, leave a rating and review. That is the best way to support the podcast. It shows me that you're listening. It shows me that it's helping, and it shows me what type of content I should be creating. And it helps some other woman who's sitting around at home feeling bad about herself, hating what she sees in the mirror. It helps her find the podcast so she can start changing her life too. Okay? I will catch you in the next episode. Until then, stay irresistible. Bye, guys.